Write your answer to the following brief constructed response in 1 to 2 paragraphs. Use the lines provided below. Question number 8. Explain how the author introduces and elaborates on the idea that Montana is a beautiful and special place. Support your answer with several important details from the text. Be sure to use your graphic organizer. You're explaining how the author describes Montana in the way of it being beautiful and special. So go back and read your text. Find key phrases for when the author describes Montana as beautiful or special, or if she uses big words like it's amazing or it's wonderful, or any words that describe Montana in a positive way, underline or highlight those and use those as your text evidence. Be sure to use the sentence stems in the graphic organizer to write your final draft. Question number 17. Write your answer to the following short answer item in 2 to 3 sentences. Use the lines provided below. 17. Explain how the narrator, the person that's speaking in the story, implies or tells that age isn't important when judging someone's abilities. Support your answer with 2 important details from the passage. Remember to use your graphic organizer. You only need 3 sentences, so 1 topic sentence and 2 details. Be sure also, if you have any questions, to write it down on your sticky note and put it in the parking lot. (22) Read the prompt below and write a well-organized, text-dependent response. Be sure to save time to edit and review your work for complete sentences. Correct grammar, spelling, punctuation, and appropriate language. The next page is for you to record notes, brainstorm, and/or write an outline. Then there are 2 pages provided for you to write a rough draft and edit your work. Write your final draft on the last 2 pages. Question 22. The speakers from both Backwater and Those to Come, those were the last 2 passages you read, reflect on the concept of legacy, or how people from the past are remembered from in the future. Imagine that the narrator in the Backwater meets the speaker in Those to Come and responds to questions and reflections that are presented in the poem. Write from the point of view of the narrator in Backwater and explain the similarities and differences in their positions. Be sure to include details about how the narrator and speaker think about topics like history, family, and memory. So, you are going to take 2 characters using your graphic organizer. You're going to name them. So the character that's speaking in Those to Come and the character that's speaking in Backwater. You're going to you're going to write a narrative story, which is a made-up story, of how they meet. You're going to use dialogue in the quotation marks to have them speak to each other. In your story, you're going to have them speak about family, history, and memory, using evidence from the 2 passages that you read. So in your graphic organizer, write down what each of them feel about both of those topics, or all of those topics. Then you're going to use your graphic organizer to write your story, just like we did for the jacket when we continued the story in your own words. So we're going to use a variety of narrative techniques that advance the story or illustrate the experience. Develop your response with relevant details, quotations, or other information and examples. Organize your ideas with a clear introduction, so how you begin the story, effective transitions, using then, finally, after that, and a concluding thought. If you have any questions, be sure to write it down on your sticky note and plug it into the parking lot.